It's a Conspiracy is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown and community supported. For other fun programming, please check out albertapodcastnetwork.com, where you can find shows like Armchair Sports, the podcast.
I got so much stuff to get through today. Let's do this.
Okay.
Long weekends, am I right?
Oh, man. Five gigs. 5 gigs this weekend.
5 gigs.
I'm too old to be doing 5 gigs
in
a
3
weekend.
days.
Yeah. Well, in Thursday, Friday.
That's a lot of memory.
Yeah, 4 days. 4 days.
Right.
5 gigs in 4 days. Too much.
You're a machine.
Sounds like LimeWire. Sounds like LimeWire in 1999.
LimeWire.
5 gigs, 4 days. Yeah, come on, man. That was good.
It is good, but like, again, it adds to this thing where you've got all these like 80s and 90s references, but like,
because I was alive in the 90s.
No, you weren't alive, though, is the thing.
I grow a beard better than you. Like, I don't.
I know
what are you getting at here, man?
That's not indicative of age, though. My son will probably have a beard before I do. All right, well, let's
just do this thing.
Okay.
Let's go.
So,
go.
Episode 19, After the Thaw. Welcome back, everyone, to It's a Conspiracy. This is the podcast where I lay out the beliefs behind selected conspiracy theories, alternative accounts, legends, myths, and more. I'm your host, Andrew, and I do not claim to be an expert on anything we're going to discuss today, and will probably be wrong about everything because this is our Star Wars May the 4th Be With You special. And I'm super excited. I love Star Wars. And hey, who's had a couple coffees this morning? I know this guy has.
You are.
Woo! All right.
Man, I went grocery shopping this morning. I had at least 4 or 5.
Nice.
Throwing elbows and shoulders. Watch out, old lady. Get out of
crazy.
Sunday morning at the grocery store, it's like Lord of the Flies in there. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like, get out of my way. And I will.
No, you guys are doing it all wrong. Of course, I have the luxury of working from home. So I can go in like a Monday early afternoon, go on not a long weekend, go grocery shopping. It's dead. It's nice.
Yeah.
The store is my oyster.
You're not punching somebody for like a box of kitty litter.
No, that's not my style.
Also, I don't have any kitties.
Also, no kitties. I'm just, unless it's for eating, stay out of my cart.
Okay, so just to clarify, you're not eating kitty litter. Like,
no.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Eating.
Okay.
He's just stocking up for the next apocalypse.
I only put Charlie food in this cart.
That's right.
Now, as always, if you'd like to see which scruffy looking Nerf herders we've had hiding in the cargo bay, then please check out the episode description. Charlie smuggles those links in and you can legally enjoy them while feeling very glad that you did so. So that's very, very nice.
Too legit.
And we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network. Yay team, yay friends, yay squad, yay network, yay time. You can check us out at itsconspiracypodcast.com. Our Twitter at Is It a Conspiracy? That's run by the social media influencer Scottish Madman. Our Facebook group, our Instagram page, It's a Conspiracy Podcast. That's run by Gorgeous Greg. Our email and our Patreon page, patreon.com/ It's a Conspiracy. Oh man, that had some James Earl Jones rumbling on it.
It's getting better and better.
Conspiracy. Righty then, joining the online distance communication time today is charming Darth Charlie. I thought we would forego as per the occasion. Sure. And Gorgeous Greg. These Bantha saddles.
I don't even get like a Padawan Greg or anything. I'm just still Gorgeous Greg.
Gorgeous Padawan Greg.
There you go.
These Bantha saddles will interject as they see fit. And I do so appreciate their socially distanced company. All right, now, let's do this. Today, we're going to talk about 3 things, and those 3 things are, number 1, Charlie.
Me?
Yeah, sorry. We're going to talk about Charlie.
We're going to talk about me.
Now, Charlie, can you tell me if you are familiar with this one here?
Let's go.
Number 1, what is May the 4th?
What is it? Oh, no. Yes.
Number 2, a Darth Charlie Monster of the Week with Darth Charlie.
You betcha.
Okay, number 3, did George Lucas steal things from Dune?
Maybe.
I gotta wait till opinion time.
I'm a maybe on that. I think I may have heard of this before.
Maybe. All right, now number 1. What is May the 4th?
What is it?
It's a day during May.
The 4th day in May.
It is the 4th day in May.
Next
May the
subject.
4th. You know, like what a day to be alive. All days are good to be alive. We're happy that we're alive, right, guys? Hey, huh?
Each and every one of them.
The 4th of May is extra special to be alive because full of joy and laughter it is. It's the unofficial Star Wars day around the world and a perfect time to bust out the movies, the games, the toys, the lunch kits, the bed sheets. Just bust out the bed sheets. You know what I mean? The phrase, May the 4th be with you, is a derivative of the iconic phrase, May the Force be with you, or if you're a Spaceballs fan, May the Schwartz be with you. This is used by the Jedi when harnessing the power of the Force. Now, according to Obi-Wan Kenobi, hello there. The Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together like the time I chopped off your father's arms and legs and threw him in a volcano. That's what he should have said to Luke. He should have been very clear about that. Now, spoilers for everything, by the way.
Yeah, this is going to be an episode full of spoilers. So,
yeah, if you haven't seen a movie from,
if you haven't seen a Star Wars, then keep on trucking, pal.
Or, listen and then, get confused about the whole series.
You could dig into it.
Yeah. Since 1977, what a glorious decade. There have been 9 official Star Wars movies that features the likes of Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, Lando, Poe Dameron, Finn, Rey, Jabba the Hutt, Boba the Fett, Dexter Jetster, Admiral Akbar, R2-D2, C-3PO, the Emperor Bosk, Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Salacious B. Crumb. It has gone from a simple summer movie to a full-on cultural revolution, and it's still going strong without any dips in quality whatsoever. I know some people will take issue with that, but now May the 4th is a day much like Pi Day or Record Store Day or 420 or Comic Book Day or
Cinco de Mayo the day after.
March 10th.
Cinco de Mayo is the day after. That's a nice weekend plan right there. But there's also days like Talk Like a Pirate Day. That be a day for ye to shake off the earthly shackles and embrace the salty depths with your cold black heart.
Oh, you're so bilingual.
I speak a bit of Pilot Charles.
What?
Now, the ultimate question here is, how do I celebrate May the 4th? So you can dress up if you want to. Charlie has a little Jawa costume. That's fine. But for something a little more low key, then maybe you can check out the movies or the series. And I know the Disney purchase has rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way, and that the sequel trilogy wasn't exactly embraced. But The Mandalorian is fantastic. The new Lego Star Wars games are apparently really good. I don't know if you guys have played them or not, but I heard
played the old school Lego Star Wars games back in the day.
Back in the day.
It was a big old Lego Star Wars stand.
And that's what I mean. So all of that stuff is still there. It's all still available. So if you're like, I only like the George Lucas stuff, all of that's still there. And it's relatively untouched for you to enjoy. I mean, it's kind of seems to be a little different every time you go back to watch it.
I don't get that Charlie understands like back in the day, but all of a sudden calls himself a stan. What kind of tea are you drinking?
I live on both sides. I remember pre-internet and post-internet, so I'm allowed to dip into whatever vernacular I so choose.
Oh, now I have to put a question to you guys here. We'll come back to this in opinion time here. So the question for me, boyos, is if someone has never seen the movies and they ask you what order should they be viewed in, what would you say? So I'm going to give you a couple options here, and we don't have to answer now. We'll come back to it.
Longest to shortest.
Okay, so number 1, chronological. That'd be starting with the prequel trilogy. Then you go to the orig tridge, and then the sequel tridge. Okay, so that'd be chronological. Number 2, the release date. So you go like original recipe, prequel recipe, sequel recipe. And then there's what's called the machete order, which is the New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. Then you go to Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Then you go back, Return of the Jedi. And then you watch the sequel trilogy and you skip the Phantom Menace. And I didn't come up with this. This is a thing. The machete order is a thing. And then, of course, the Rogue order. Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, A New Hope, Christmas Special, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then The Mandalorian. And you skip the sequel trilogy.
Oh.
Right? Okay. So some thoughts there. Some thoughts.
Well, the machete order has definitely changed since I last looked at it.
Have you looked at the machete order before?
Well, the way I understood it is that it was just like someone actually took the time out of their day to go and like put them all together. So it's literally like a 14-hour movie that you get to watch.
Oh boy.
But it's like the prequels, and then it cuts out a bunch of garbage, which mainly means like no Jar Jar Binks in the first film.
Garbage in the prequels? Are what?
I didn't say garbage. It was the people that quoted on or commented on these videos. But it's like the prequels, and then it cuts out a bunch of garbage. I didn't say garbage. It was the people that quoted on or commented on these videos.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Darth Jar Jar, no big deal. But no, and then they like kind of cut like all the boring scenes out. So like anything that George Lucas added into the original movies, and it's just like the original, and then continues. And then I think it cuts off on The Force Awakens because they're like, oh, everything else is actually garbage.
I have not heard of that particular machete cut before.
Yeah.
Deep
But we can
cuts.
come back to that. Yeah, we can come back
Hack and
into
slash.
that. And if you look up that version, maybe that could be your response for the opinions thing. Because I know there was like a Topher Grace cut as well, which is hilarious.
What?
That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Anyways, we'll come back to that.
Such a cut scenes from him from that 70s show. Because
No, we'll have to talk about it in opinions. So that's going to take us into what are we drinking?
What? What are we drinking? What? What are we drinking?
I know.
Drinking blue milk out of the tits of some weird alien. Yeah,
Charlie, did you have one ready to go? Because I can do mine too.
Sure. I'm drinking Qui-Gon gin and tonics. No, that's not a thing. No, there should be a thing.
It should be a
I
thing.
can sell that, but that's
I'm
not
never
what I'm
going to
drinking.
order anything else after that. Can I get a Qui-Gon gin and tonic, please?
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what
That is amazing.
This weekend, I was a little bit obsessed with, of all things, Coachella, because apparently YouTube partnered up with Coachella and you could watch the entirety of the festival first weekend or whatever all on YouTube. You could switch back and forth between tents and stages. And so I called it Couchella because I just stayed at home and had all the fun of watching all these concerts. But while I was doing that, I was drinking some Mad Chillin Hazy Pale Ale, proudly made in Alberta from SYC. And I'll tell you about it. It was a light crushable beer with notes of passion fruit and pineapple. Keep cold, enjoy fresh. And I did enjoy fresh. Heckin' fresh. Good times. Get it in you. SYC, Mad Chillin.
Is it said SYC? Because I've been saying
You've been saying sick.
What are you saying?
I've been
Sick?
saying sick brewing. I've
Bro.
been saying sick brewing.
Is
now.
it sick? It's,
Yeah.
I think it's SYC.
Okay. That makes more sense. That sounds better than like you don't want to call your product sick.
yeah,
But,
but drink sick.
This is dope.
I had a Tropic Tundra from the good people at Polar Park Brewing. And I'll just read a little bit of the information here for you. So it's an Indian Pale Ale, 6.5% alcohol, and it's a battle of the biomes. Polar Tundra meets tropical flavors from Chinook, Sabro, and El Dorado hops. A light gold forward IPA with balanced malt and creative character, where the polar bears roam. Now, once again, I have to point this out. Look at that can.
I'm into
It's
it.
a polar bear, and then his head is like turning into a constellation. So
Beauty.
amazing. Yeah. I was absolutely in love with that can.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I just polar bears, right? Come on.
They're
So Greg,
badass.
what are we what is Greg? What are we drinking?
Well, lately I've been on the non-drinking train, so it's been a lot of coffee and water. But when I like to go out, luckily I have a wonderful brewery here in Alberta called Far, and they have an alcohol-free beer, which they call the OG energy drink. And I will be reading directly from their website. So when I say we,
It's the royal.
The royal we.
Yeah.
the royal we, yeah. Our first ever non-alcoholic beer, winning the silver in Canada in the non-alcoholic category at the 2020 Canadian Brewing Awards. We are brewing our non-alcoholic beer like we would any other beer that we have in our product line. The difference, we use a specialized mashing technique combined with a very special yeast. When treated right, and they know how, this yeast only produces about 0.3% alcohol per volume. Taste notes of crackery malt, citrus, and fruit aroma. This is a guilt-free beer, and we will work hard for that. And I do work hard for that because I deserve it.
Yeah.
You do.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Treat yourself.
What's it called again?
It's the Fahr, Fahr, alcohol free, and that's all in German. I'm pretty sure I said it wrong. I'm sure it's alcohol free. Super tasty. Like I'm not one, like I said, to take a break every once in a while, but when I do, to have an alcohol-free beer is nice. I would say Heineken 0.0 was my top. But this one kind of knocks it down.
So is it pronounced far? Because I've been saying far.
Far.
I'm sure there's some German people that are listening to this episode who are like
so mad at us.
Yeah, there's like you guys
come at us on Twitter, bro.
I know, right?
You know where to find us.
Slip into the DMs with your fists.
I've always called it far.
Yeah,
far.
I believe it's
there's some before the R.
Actually, SYC also make an amazing non-alcoholic beer. And that's going to take us to ad number 1.
On this episode of It's a Conspiracy, we'd like to tell you about what's new with our friends at TELUS Story Hive, calling on all new and emerging creators in BC and Alberta. TELUS Story Hive's all-access documentary edition is funding 40 creators with $20,000 each in production funding, mentorship training, and distribution on TELUS Optic TV. Pitch any documentary idea that you're passionate about, and you could be in the running to join the Story Hive community. Apply by May 30th at storyhive.com/apply.
Okay, we are back. Subject number 2. It's a Darth Charlie Monster of the Week with Darth Charlie.
Welcome back to Charlie Screams Monster of the Week, where I pick a different monster, either mythical, supernatural, or paranormal, and give it the classic X-Files solo episode attention it respect that it deserves. Got it? Good. Now strap in, because we're going on a trip to a galaxy far, far away. This week's monster is the Rancor. The Cambridge Dictionary defines Rancor as a feeling of hate and continuing anger about something in the past. However, the Wikipedia defines Rancors as large semi-sentient reptilian carnivores native to the planet Dathomir, although also present on Felucia. Rancors were often seen as mindless, violent creatures due to their extensive use as fighters across the galaxy, until later when they were described as emotionally complex creatures that you can train to ride and play fetch with giant objects. Well, all right, maybe not that last part, but today we're talking about these classic Star Wars monster beasts. In the Star Wars universe, as described on StarWars.com, Rancors are towering hulks of muscle and reptilian flesh that walk on 2 stubby legs and use their disproportionately long arms to capture prey. A salivating, tooth-filled maw dominates their flat faces, and their armored skin is so tough. How tough is it? That they can shrug off blaster bolts as little more than annoyances. While not inherently vicious, Felucia's farmers coexisted relatively peacefully with spiked, brightly colored jungle rancors. These creatures were prized as trophies by crime lords and other wealthy, amoral individuals. Jabba the Hutt kept a Rancor in a shadowy chamber beneath his Tatooine throne room. After Luke Skywalker killed the beast, an outraged Jabba ordered the public execution of the Jedi and his friends. That's all public record at this point, so we all know all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we talked about this at our last community hall meeting.
Yeah, that's right. It's all out to the public now. So the early films showcased the big guy as a plain and simple monster. However, lately the SWU, that's the Star Wars universe, has been getting in touch with the Rancor's softer side when heads up on big time Book of Boba Fett spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. The Hutt twins pop by with an apology gift for Boba Fett with a bouncing baby Rancor which imprints on Fett, and they, of course, go on to have many fun adventures and get into all kinds of hijinks. A real boy and his dog scenario, which includes Fett riding the Rancor, wearing a cowboy hat, and saying things like, "Yeehaw, Mother Hutter!" Now, behind the scenes, here are, as Andrew likes to say, some fun facts about what Rancor is really like to work with. The original concept for the beast was to be of that between a bear and a potato. So If you look at him, that's definitely what you can see. One part bear, one part potato. Ranky was originally meant to be played by a 3-person operated suit, but that didn't work out the way they wanted. They just didn't like the looks of it. It looked all janky. So it's actually an 18-inch Japanese bunraku style pole mannequin.
Fact.
With like little special things for his, for his grabbers to grab onto stuff.
Nice.
So they had a giant life-sized wooden cutouts of the massive monster that were used when shooting the live scenes to give Luke and the crew on Tatooine an idea of where the Rancor was supposed to be standing at every shot. So, even not shooting on location in the desert of Tatooine, they still used a giant cardboard cutout. Fact. The Rancor was a precious pet. Malakili served as the caretaker to Jabba's menagerie, and he loved his pet Rancor. In Aftermath Life Debt, we learned the name of Malakili's creature, Patissa. Feeling purposeless after her loss, he almost fed himself to the dreaded Sarlacc. But keeping with the pet theme, fact, its bite is worse than its bark. It's interesting to find out that the voice of Ranky was supplied by Max, a terrifyingly small little dachshund who belonged to the sound originator Ben Burt's neighbor. Burt clarifies in The Sound of Star Wars, I recorded Max as he growled and hissed, and then I pitched that down much lower for the roars and howls of the lumbering Rancor. And finally, fact, the Rancor used moisturizer to keep its skin looking young and fresh. Sort of. They would spritz the puppet with water to keep its moist glow, and its slobber was some sort of a glycerin concoction, keeping them all drooly. That's the Rancor, and back to you, Andy.
Yeah.
Do you like that? I threw in some extra,
Got a little
word,
gross, yeah.
descriptive words for
Use
you.
the word moist.
Yeah.
I wrote that, and then I thought, Andrew's going to love this one.
Yeah. That's one of those.
Really
that should be
enunciate
struck
it.
from the record. There should be 2 words that we now beep out. There should be we should be constantly bleeping out name so that nobody knows who it is, and we should also be beeping out the word moist.
Which I think
I'm
is
just
a
start
gag.
saying his name more often, just so you have to go through it and beep it
Well,
out.
They
Hope you're having a good day,
Oh,
buddy.
but then what about when I talk about my the thing I write about watermelons, my moist column?
you have a moist column
My blog
about watermelons?
where I write about the freshness of watermelons. The column. There's gonna be so much bleeping in this part.
There is so much to unpack with that. Like you have a melon blog.
A melon blog, yeah.
Melon.
Charlie
blog.
Screams melon blog. The moist column.
Anywho, so here's subject number 3. Did George Lucas steal from Dune?
Dune. Because Dune, get it?
Walk without rhythm, it won't attract the worm.
Now, okay, so there's a famous jazz musician. Are you guys familiar with Kilometers Davis? Americans call him Miles Davis, but do you guys know what I'm talking about? So he has a famous
I'm not
quote.
playing this game anymore.
I love it.
He has a famous quote that says, "First you got to imitate, then you got to innovate." Now, it turns out that George Lucas fully embraced that for what is regarded as one of the most creative franchises ever spawned by the likes of a human brain in a skull in someone's head that came up with some movie ideas. Now, all respect due to George Lucas, he gets kicked, rightly so. I mean, the CGI additions, some of them are baffling. The McClunky thing, for example. But he is the brainchild behind this whole thing. And that's not even mentioning things like Indiana Jones.
Sure.
And he's done some other really cool stuff. So he took a lot of influences from Flash Gordon, Akira Kurosawa, Sergio Leone, and perhaps most blatantly from Frank Herbert's 1965 novel, Dune. Now, have you guys read Dune or seen? Okay.
Yeah, I've read pretty much every book that's got to do with Dune. It's a wonderful universe.
Okay. Have you seen the Lynch version?
Oh, you mean the best version?
Yeah. Okay. So you prefer the David Lynch version?
No,
with
no,
Sting?
I'm very much a Denis Villeneuve. I can't wait to see what he does with the rest.
Oh man, because I like that was absolutely spectacular.
I have only seen the new version and I enjoyed it.
It is really good, and it's like maybe half of the first book, so there's a whole lot more to it.
Oh, there's like so much I want to say, and I have to wait.
Yeah.
till
Well,
opinion
I mean,
time.
we're kind of going with spoilers ahead here. So Darth Charlie, if you want to do the blah la 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 la, because there are some things that we're going to talk
remember.
about here.
You guys say things I won't remember.
That's right. You don't remember.
For you. I'm just
It's gonna
saying,
be like a year, but until the next movie comes out, so I'll be fine.
You'll be okay.
Don't forget.
In fact, in the early 1980s, the similarities were pointed out to Herbert, and he said, "I'm going to try very hard not to sue," Herbert told an Oregon newspaper back in the 70s, before adding that he found the first Star Wars film boring. Meow. He's like, it was boring, and I'm going to try not to sue them. Apparently, George Lucas responded by saying, "I love Dune. Dune your mom." Burn. So what exactly did Uncle George steal from Dune? Was it Jason Momoa? Because, I mean, we can all use a little Momoa. You know what I'm saying? Handsome man. So let's talk about the samesies here, and spoilers ahead for everything. Like we said, go watch the movies, read the books. Go ahead and play 1992's Dune for Amiga DOS. That's amazing. That's going way back. And have some fun with that. Come on back when you're ready. All right. So first of all, Tatooine and Arrakis. The planets the series are focused on are full of main characters, Jabba the Hutt-esque monsters, sand crawlers, lots of sand just in general, and giant monsters.
Both desert planets.
They're desert planets, lots of sand, lots of desert. The biggest difference here is that in Star Wars, everybody seems to kind of hate Tatooine. And in Dune, the sand hides like space cocaine that everybody wants to control. So both movies, just a lot of destiny and a lot of space cocaine.
Lots of spice.
Number 2, moisture farmers or dew collectors. Ooh, okay. Now on sandy destiny planets full of monsters, there are, in both of these movies, there are moisture farmers looking for all things. As we've said, I hate saying that word, so there's going to be a lot of bleeped out things here. I hope everybody understands what it is here. Now, I would say that the win here comes for Dune, who appropriately decided to call it dew collecting. But collecting the summer dew off of the lilac branches in the vineyard.
Majestic. Yeah.
There's no such thing as lilac branches in Dune. Come on.
Oh, here he goes. Number 3, the Sarlacc/sandworm. Now, Return of the Jedi and the Book of Boba Fett, they feature the Sarlacc, who is a giant sand monster hidden in the sand, and he likes sand. In Dune, there's a massive worm living in the sand who has like all of the teeth in like a circle thing. It's really creepy. The movie does a great version of making it look super awesome. The winner actually goes to the 90s film Tremors, featuring Kevin Bacon and Fred Willard, because that is a sand monster. My friends, have you seen that movie?
Oh, hell yeah. So many times. I love it. The classic. It's a late night cable television classic.
Amazing. Spice.
Would.
Earlier. Tremors 2. Spice. Earlier, I referenced the space cocaine that they're after in Dune. There is actually a subplot, more so in the books and the animated series, and a little bit in Boba Fett, that discuss the spice trade happening in the Star Wars verse. So in Star Wars, they get it from the mines of Kessel, and in Dune, they get it from Arrakis. And in Edmonton, you get it from that overly energetic frat boy trying to organize a bro chorus of "Don't Stop Believing." So that's where the spice comes from.
Are you holding? You
got to know when to hold them. The Empire and the Imperium. So in Star Wars, they have the Empire, and Dune has the Imperium. Evil emperors sit at the top of both, and spoilers, both of them end up being toppled. In fact, both of them are thrown down plasma shafts by Darth Vader. True story, weird cameo, but that's fine. I think we're at number 5 now. I'm not sure. I didn't put numbers on these. That's okay. Princess Leia from Star Wars and Princess Alia from Children of Dune. Yeah. So very similar names. Both secret twin sisters of main characters, and they both like throwing around a fair amount of piss and vinegar. You know what I mean? Saucy ladies. Now, the winner here, not to be that guy, but the winner is Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi. We all know why. That clip lives in my heart rent-free.
But yeah. That's an opinion?
Fact.
Well, that's a fact. Okay, never mind.
That's a fact.
As long as you say fact.
Oh, so as soon as we say fact, our opinions no longer are opinions. It's just fact.
That's right.
I see how this podcast
As long as it's a fact.
Now, this next one here is descended from a villain. Okay, now spoilers. Luke finds out that he's the son of Darth Vader, And Paul Atreides finds out he is the grandson of the hilariously named Vladimir Harkonnen.
Hot Conan?
So, Grandfafa, why? Why Grandfafa? And Luke is like, hey, Dad, that's my hand. Why'd you cut it off? Now, the next one here, the Force versus the Voice. Okay, so we're not talking about the
TV show with
the TV show
with Whoopi Goldberg and everybody else.
Now, Star Wars has the Force and Dune has the Voice. They can both be harnessed for the powers and used, albeit inconsistently, to make the plot work. So Dune does a much better job in the books of explaining how the Voice works. Whereas Star Wars, it's like, hey, it's this thing and you can just kind of do whatever with it. Yeah, midichlorians, right? There we go. And sometimes, you get babies and you can make people fly and it's great. Luke kind of seems to forget what he's doing with the Force every once in a while. If you guys know what I'm talking about here, like, for example, so during the Rancor battle, spoilers, he decides, to forego his use of the Force and just picks up a rock to throw at the door control. And it's like, shut down the Rancor's brain, Luke. Like, choke him out with your spirit powers. Use the Force on the door. Use the Force to throw that rock. You don't need to pick up a rock, man. Like, remember when Yoda taught you how to use magic? Use some of that, Luke. Anyways, that's
sometimes you get lost in the moment, pal.
Yeah, I know, but just come on. What are you doing picking up rocks? You got the Force powers.
But he used the Force to push the rock into the button.
He threw. If you're talking about
rock with such force,
he used his hand. He used his hand to throw the rock
with such force that it closed the door.
Anywho, so a lot of similarities between the two. George Lucas did he imitated and innovated a lot of different things, but he really did. He got a lot of stuff from Dune for sure.
Huh.
Yeah. How you doing? Huh?
Hey.
Actually, the funny thing about Dune is the author, he pronounces it as June, as in like the month of June. Yeah.
Oh, I was
in my novel June.
I thought it was Dune.
Yeah. It's Dune.
Dune.
That's going to take us to ad number 2.
This episode of It's a Conspiracy is brought to you by Inventures, your front row seat to what's next. Register now for Inventures 2022, where you can learn, share, and be inspired by the startups, entrepreneurs, investors, and global thought leaders who are redefining the future. Inventors runs June 1st to 3rd in Calgary and online, featuring more than 150 sessions, over 250 speakers, international keynotes, expert panels, startup pitch events, networking opportunities, and more. Reserve your pass now at inventorscanada.com. That's INVENTURES Canada.com.
Ho, ho, hey, ho. So opinion time.
Opinion time. Hey, everybody, it's opinion time.
Now, to go back to our question here, what do you guys think is the best Star Wars viewing for watching the movies? If you're going to watch the movies and you hadn't seen them before,
if you're going to watch them all, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because you get the early ones out of the way fast. Get them out. Get it out first,
Yeah, but Attack of the Clones is a timeless movie.
Okay. We are in opinion time, so that's okay to say. This is a safe thing to say.
Charlie and Andrew choke on their words. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I respect you as a person. Yeah.
Crazy batshit thing to say, I'll tell you that.
But actually, I've thought about doing this lately. Is doing that 1 to 9 watch
for Dune that?
Dune that 1, 2, 3. What is it? What order is that one called?
So the chronological order would be
it's not chronological. It's episodical.
Okay. So we're gonna watch them in numerical order.
That's it. Numerical order.
So like 1, 2, 3.
That's what 9. I just said.
4, 5, 6,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right, and then there would be the release order, which is like watching original recipe,
right,
sequel,
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3,
original
7, 8,
prequel,
9.
sequel. Yeah, and then the machete one would be skipping Phantom Menace, and then the Rogue cut would be skipping most of the prequel trilogy and skipping the sequel trilogy and ending with the Mandalorian.
See, If you're just gonna do it, just watch all 9, 1 through 9.
Okay, so you want to watch all? Okay, all right.
That's
Fair
what
enough.
I'm doing. Gotta get back.
Okay.
In the notes.
Yeah, just checking my notes here. I got them on my phone. So I prefer the if we're in the opinion thing here. Not that I am like a huge critic of the sequel trilogies. Like the sequel trilogy was fine, but I really like this thing with the Rogue cut. I think Rogue One is awesome. I think The Mandalorian is great. I love the kind of the way that they brought spoilers, Luke Skywalker back into it. I feel like that kind of wraps up the original trilogy in a much more satisfying way. So that would be mine personally. But I know when I watched the movies with my daughter, we watched the prequel series, watched the original trilogy, we watched the sequel trilogy. The original 3 she was like totally into, and then the other 6 she's like meh. So yeah. What are your thoughts on this, Greg? Aside from watching Attack of the Clones just 10 times, like what?
I just put on Attack of the Clones and I feel way better. I'm gonna say this out loud, because I know I'm going to get shit on for it. Rogue One was a waste of film. We did not need that movie whatsoever. We had a backstory right off the bat from the first film where they said, hey, we got these from a resurgence, or, like they were part of us and they gave us the plans for this. We did not need that movie. So we can skip that whole watch Rogue One. But I'm with Charlie on this one and watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, man, because then it's a lot easier to figure out when you're like, we gotta watch 4, 5, and then 9, and then 8.5, and then loop back around to 2, and then we get to 3, and then you take a break for some tea, and then you go back and you watch the outside ones, and you watch the cartoon in there, and you slip it in, and I don't know. That's too much work, man.
That was pretty Bill Cosby of you right there.
Well, it was not on purpose. It was not on purpose.
You're accidental Cosby. I'm accidental Cosby.
I create accidents everywhere I go.
So I'll put this out here for you. This is a real thing. I'll put the link in the episode description. Topher Grace, and I am talking straight up.
I want to see this.
So it's Topher Grace from like 70s show, the best Venom that's ever been captured on screen. I mean, I'm sure we can all agree with that. He edited the entire prequel trilogy into one 85-minute film. Yeah. And so it was known as the Phantom Edit. It went on YouTube, and for years people were like wondering who put this thing together.
It's the best thing Topher Grace has ever done.
And it's fantastic, and it's all of the best things and like none of the bad things. So for example, it's mostly like from Phantom Menace, the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi battle basically skips Attack of the Clones, and then except for like the Boba Fett stuff, which is great, which is really cool. Like that little showdown is awesome. And then it's heavily leaning on Revenge of the Sith, but he did it, and he only admitted to that, I want to say like 2010 maybe. So like 10 years after they had, like after the Phantom Menace had come out, he was like, all right, I did it. I did this. And
it's
pretty
funny.
cool.
He's like this actor, and he's like, well, maybe you should have been an editor.
Yeah.
Gone into editing, pal.
Well, you live and learn, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what happens after you leave like a long running hit sitcom and try and make a life out of it. Sucker. And
you never know, right? Like the guy from Malcolm in the Middle is now like a race car driver, so you never know what people are good at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might be a really good race car driver.
Not everybody can be Paul Newman.
Yeah,
sure.
The dude had salad dressing, race cars, movies. That guy was killing it.
He's super boss. Absolutely.
So, Greg, did I miss something in Dune that George Lucas might have stolen from Dune to put in Star Wars?
Besides the entire storyline of having a chosen person become the one and blah, 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 blah. What the main thing you messed up for me, which I was very upset about, is that Alia is not the twin sister of Paul. She's born way after. Paul is at least 17 when she's born. She's also born with the memories of thousands of generations of women, way more impressive than Princess Leia. She also has the use of the voice. She's born with teeth. Like, come on, man.
Did you say her name is Paul?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. You should know.
I do know. I've read the books many times. I just laid some facts on your ass, and you're just worried about her name.
Well, yeah, I get.
So she's the twin sister of Leto or Leto.
No, that would be Ghanima, which is the twin sister of Leto, who is the children of Paul and his wife. I'm trying to remember her name now. Shit. Well, watch the movie. You'll figure it out. Read the books. Do better.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, okay.
Hey, that's a legit Dune aficionado.
Yeah, I know. I will say in defense of that Dune was not the first time that like a young boy from small planet ends up finding out that he's like the secret destiny savior of the universe,
The chosen one.
like Lord of the Rings did that. The Wagner's Ring Cycle did that. It's a
it's
staple
definitely a
of
reoccurring
fantasy
story.
writing. So I mean, like it's been used a couple times. Harry Potter is in a sense like that same theme as well.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, there's Dune Corner for this episode.
Sorry, I got mad at you there, but you just got some like major storyline.
Yeah, you
arcs.
made it.
Just
Now
really
Andrew's.
messed up and-
You got defensive, and now
no.
Andrew's super defensive.
No, not defensive at all. Just trying to look at my notes here.
Trying not to cry.
Yeah. Oh, I'll try. Oh no, Greg's upset about Dune. What am I doing with my life? Now, ready then, younglings. Ready. Thank you so much for swinging by and bringing peace to the Outer Rim. We will be back later on in May for episode 20. In the meantime, if you're needing some horn throwing approved for your Max Rebo grooves, then slide into our past cast and social media stuff at itsconspiracypodcast.com. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.
May the force be with you.
Don't be shy. You have some idea what I could do. Check out a new map.
Don't try your powers on me. Try looking into that place where you dare not look. You will find me there staring back at you.
You mustn't speak!
Now you'll remember mine.
Go the finger.